Aloha, I'm Malia Bolton Hind, the owner of the Kona Coffee Tea Company. We started our farm to cup operation back in '96 when my parents had purchased an old ranch land up at Waiano Meadows, and we planted our first 20 acres in 1998. After the first cherries were picked, we entered it into the local competition. Kona Coffee Cultural Festival puts on every year, and we won first place. And that was the start of the Kona Coffee Tea Company. And we opened up our first retail store, we purchased a roaster, and from there we then started to mill, and now are opened up in Kailua Kona farm to cup, and we love serving our community. Our heart is with Kailua Kona and its people, and we're just so blessed. So back in 1998, I was 16 years old. I'm aging myself. But I was a teenager, and we got to just be wild kids and be up in this beautiful ranch land up at Waiano Meadows. And my dad and mom had this grand idea to plant coffee, and we were up there with quads, and there was a bulldozer, and really just prepping the land to put in the coffee. And I remember I'm the oldest, so my brother and my sister, we were muddy and dirty all the time, and we started that first 20 acres, and I think it was just a time where now being a mom, it reminds me that it's so great to just have your kids run free and to really be a part of this place. I really love the farm to cup component of our business because we're able to control the quality of our coffee. And so here at the nursery, this is where we're starting with great soil. We're grafting trees and putting a Liberica stalk with a Arabica typica top. And this is where then we are, over time, now that I've been in it for 20 plus years, I have learned that, plants really do need to have a really great soil system. And really then from there, if we nurture the tree, it will become a very fruitful tree. So I think just being a farmer now, what I learned in my 20s to what I know now is really nurturing our seedlings, and where we put them in the ground and how we take care of them really makes a difference in the product that we get to serve at the cafe. So here is our seed trays, where then we transplant these into the seed pots to let them grow bigger. But what they will do is they'll take one of these and they'll cut this, and then they'll put the top of the Arabica onto the top of the root stalk of the Liberica, and then you have your grafted tree. So here is our grafted trees. Here, these are our little seedlings that we had grown out, little seedlings of the Liberica stalk, and that they do is they kind of make a V-shaped cut, and they put the Arabica typica top, and we just clip it. And this is probably about 3 months old, so it's been it healed up itself. So they just kind of created one big stalk here, and then when they're about 8 months to a year old, they're at this stage, and this is when we're going to take it up to the farm. These are ready to go up, and we'll start planting these up on the farm. Yeah, so these trees are our grafted trees that then we put into the ground not too long ago. So you can see the green here. This is a good example, and then some, here's some good cherry over here. So there's the cherry skin, the coffee beans. So this is what you take to the mill. You ferment, then you dry, and then you will roast it. And then you consume. But it's really sweet. It's really good. Yeah, it's really, especially this deep red color. The longer the fruit ripens, the more sugars you get. So really good tasting coffee. So In the process of moving from monocropping Kona coffee, we've diversified in agroforestry, and this is our testing plot that we planted 3.5 years ago. And so we have 21 varieties of exotic fruits, and we've now have gotten some fruits this last season from, we had a mangosteen, and I know bananas are fruiting, but a lot of these fruits take 5 to 6 years to start producing. So we'll, in a few years, hopefully get a lot of other tropical fruits. But yeah, this section, we call it Camilo, and this is 17 acres of a variety of citrus, coffee, lychee. There's a few koa trees up there. So it looks like we have a tank full of coffee that is sitting. This is called a wet fermentation. So once the coffee is ran through the wet mill, it is hulled out of its cherry skin. The cherry skin goes onto the back of the truck. We compost that. And then the seed, the coffee bean, actually sits in this big water tank and ferments for 10 to 12 hours to get all those natural sugars active. It kind of smells, but you can see the kind of the foam, which then gets, that's the good flavors that then we get in our coffee. Let's see if I have any in this tank. No, nothing in this tank. But yeah, Shanta's cleaning up right now. He just ran this coffee from probably yesterday's pick, and it will then go into these big dryers here. So once this is done fermenting, we then will put them into these dryers, and each level can dry up to 3,000 pounds. So each dryer has 3 levels in it and can dry up to 9,000 pounds of coffee. And we're not yet at that peak of the season, but we're getting there. It is, just the start of coffee picking. So that's where the cherry skin is gonna get hauled and put onto that back of that truck. So I think just taking off any floaters. So anything that does float then is not of quality. So just scooping off the top with a regular pool cleaner. And when he comes back too, I'll see if he can grab some of that cherry to show you. Oh no, he's draining it right now. So you're actually going to be able to see the coffee beans here. And here is the raw coffee cherry. And again, this process is called a wet fermentation. So it just means it's fermenting in water. So this is where we turn parchment coffee into green beans. And so here we have some green coffee that has been ran through the sizing machine, and that just sizes the beans by the different grades of coffee. So we have prime, you got number 1, you got fancy and extra fancy. Once it is milled into green, once we run it through the sizing machine, we put it on the gravity table. It takes off all of the lighter chipped beans. We also have a color sorter that takes out any discoloration in the coffee so that you have a really quality, consistent green coffee for roasting. And so this is a IR12 Dietrich. So it's a drum roaster, has a big drum inside. The flames heat up here. And so this is where then you will take green coffee, you'll put it up here in the hopper, and when it reaches the temperature, we usually get it to about 400, 420 degrees. And it roasts for about 15 to 18 minutes, depending on if you want that light roast, medium roast, or dark roast. And then this is the cooling table. So once it is done cooking, you then drop it into the cooling tray, and then it cools down. And then here is our facility that we then package all of our coffee for our cafe, and then for mail order to ship. It's really important for our community to support the festival. Not only has this festival been the oldest food festival of Hawaii, but it really has made just an impact in our community, not only with all the farmers that have worked so hard to make Kona coffee so wonderfully tasting. I mean, really just so many people say that Kona coffee is the best coffee. And the festival is a time where you get to meet the farmers directly. You're able to try the coffee directly from the farmers. You're also able to just see just a piece of history. You know, Kona has changed so much over my lifetime, and I think the Kona Coffee Cultural Festival does an amazing job at preserving that cultural traditions and telling the stories, and just really celebrating a great product. I'm super grateful to be a part of the Kona Coffee Cultural Festival. It really is a festival made up of wonderful community members, really great, knowledgeable people who really love this place. And it's celebrating the 54th year, and we hope for many more years to come. And I just want to say thank you.